Yo, 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 what is going on, CoD Familia? It is your boy BN, aka Mr. Kingdom Builder. And in today's video, we are going to be covering the latest Call of Dragons developer Q&A number 9, which dropped this morning, July 26th at 10 a.m. Eastern, or I think this would be 14 UTC in-game time on the 26th. So we're going to read through it, give you our thoughts, and see if there's anything that's interesting, because I haven't looked at anything here yet. So as always, if you enjoy the content, make sure you throw us on, because it helps out a lot. Okay. Starting with numero uno. Bellerin, the Bellerin map is lacking in combat elements. Will you be changing it? Okay, well, what specific combat elements do you mean? Again, if we're going to pick questions, can we not pick the most generalized, vague, broad questions that existed? Let's add a little bit of context, some life. Where is the passion? After receiving feedback, we have realized that some players are unsatisfied with parts of the Bellerin map. Okay, well, what parts of the Bellerin map are we not happy about? Right? Be specific. Oh, kills me. As a result, we are currently planning a redesign. We'll let you know before the redesign map becomes available. We welcome any other suggestions players may have regarding Season 2. Okay. Oh my God. First and foremost, tag your boy in. Come, let me consult. But to be fair, what would be nice for them to say would have been, these are some of the areas that the community has addressed, and these are some of the areas, plus maybe these, that we are going to be taking a look at and assessing when it comes to designing a new variation or version of the Bellerin map. Something to that effect would be lovely, because I don't get jack diddly from this at all. And it would be nice to kind of have a little bit more insight instead of only kind of getting the subject line from a mail and not having any message body. Okay, question number 2. Will you add more ways to spend leftover legendary hero tokens? Now, we've already been told, before we read the answer here, that they will be coming out with some way to do something with leftover hero tokens. Leftover, I think they even said some of the speed ups too as well. They're going to be doing some kind of exchange thing there. Answer, we've realized that some players have more legendary hero tokens than they need. And let's be very clear here. Like, let's just call it what it is. What you really mean to say is that, what this should say is, we have realized that some high-spending players have more legendary hero tokens than these high-spending players need. Like, let's just be very upfront about the whole thing, right? Maybe we could say mid-spenders, right? But mid-high spenders, we could probably say that. I think that's a fair and objective assessment. And would like a way to exchange them for in-game resource items. In response, we are planning, I wonder why they want to exchange for in-game resource items. Maybe it's because they've been buffing RSS healing and not doing jack diddly again for free healing, which is what we would really love a little bit more of, right? Especially kind of returning to what the previous original heights were of it, and then maybe going a little beyond that, right? But no, we're kind of investing more in RSS, but not really doing anything with free. How about you give us some more free samples? That would be lovely. Thank you. Okay. In response, we are planning to add the Legendary Hero Token Exchange Store as part of the season summary, allowing players to scrap non-seasonal Legendary Hero Tokens for points, which they can use to purchase items and Legendary Hero Tokens from the latest generation. Interesting. Why don't we allow for purple or epic heroes to be maybe scrapped too? That could be an idea. Unused points will be retained in your inventory and can be used in every season. We are also hoping to improve the scrap feature in the tavern. Okay, I am somewhat of a fan of that, of the scrap feature in the tavern, right? If they're aiming to improve that. Allowing you to automatically scrap epic hero tokens in exchange for points. Okay, so that answers exactly where I was going with that before. Thank you. There we go. I stand corrected. This improvement will be added as part of the update 1.0.28, which is the next one. So see the update announcement for more details. Okay. And that's coming in the next update. All right. I'm a fan. Question. Catching certain war pets is too difficult. Will you add a way to search for our desired war pets? Since we introduced the war pet system, we've seen plenty of discussion with each improvement we've made. Following feedback, we will be adding a new event as part of the holiday event series in update 1.0.28, which will allow you to summon specific war pets to a location near your city and capture them. During the event, you will have a number of free summon attempts each day. After using up your free summons, you will be able to spend warrants to gain more attempts. The specifics of the event are still being worked out, so please keep an eye. So basically, they're going to give you a temporary stint and run at being able to have specific war pet summons, captures, or attempts and captures. Okay. So I guess they're kind of meeting you in the middle at that point, and maybe they'll just kind of see how it goes. I mean, it's not the end of the world. They're still giving you an opportunity to do it, even if everyone would probably, or the people that are advocating for it would probably really like for it to be permanent. But listen, man, beggars can't be choosers. Let's see how it goes, and then, maybe I would feel different about it if I was actually investing and doing things with war pets. But I can understand from a face value level on why you would like to be able. I mean, it's not like you can't search for specific RSS tiles, right? It's not as though you have to go and manually search for the specific RSS tile that you want. You can do a manual. You can do a dedicated search for it, right, with the functioning in game. So, right, the logic could be extended to, okay, well, why can't we do that for things like war pets, right? I mean, sheesh, you could even choose between Darklings, Darkling guards, right, and then the war pets, right, that you can randomly search for, I guess, but it isn't specific enough at this point. Anyways, next question, which is, what are we on? Question 4. Will you introduce an event that allows us to change our units into different types? We understand that since players are only able to deploy one type of unit at once in the early game, and deployment queue slots are limited, this affects the player experience, making 2 types of training building less useful. In response, we are planning to add a unit type conversion event in Season 1. Interesting! Players can convert units of one type into another type of the same level at a 1-to-1 ratio. This is limited to level 1 through 3 units. The quantity limits will also apply, and quantity limits will also apply. Keep an eye for future. Okay, interesting. So, I guess what that means is that, does that almost mean like you're just going to train as much as you can, and then you're going to convert all of that before you hit T4? Or does that mean that you will continue just training T3 troops from everything, and then, no, sorry, hang on. Let me get my mind wrapped around this. Does it mean that you will do everything kind of up to T3, and then once you do the conversion, you just won't do anything T3 related anymore, then you just kind of go back to training nothing but T4s and T5s? Or does it mean that you will train as much as you can for T3, once you hit T4, then you will, well, maybe not, because technically you can do the upgrade. So does it just mean that like once you hit T4, you'll do like a mass transfer over to one type, and then you'll upgrade those types during maybe an event, and then you go back just to doing nothing but training T3s, and then you'll transfer, right? Will it kind of be a rinse repeat process? Or no, maybe you'll just kind of do everything, and then once you hit T4, you'll do the transfer, you upgrade everything, and then you just kind of go to doing nothing but training all T4s. I'm curious on like what some of you guys think the play might be here, because I wonder if there's value in doing it the first way, where you train everything up to T3, you convert all units into one type, and then you go back to training nothing but T3s, and then you kind of do like these big batch conversions, right, at certain periods. I wonder if that'll even become a thing, or no, not really. Okay, next question. Will you add a 12-hour city shield? 8 hours is too short and 24 hours is too long. We are planning to add a 12-hour city shield item to the store. This is expected to be included in update 1.0.28. And this makes sense because, again, what happens if people are sleeping more than 8 hours, right? I can understand that. Right? Or what happens if you're at work and you have longer than an 8-hour workday, right? But you don't work as long as 10 hours a day, right? So that makes sense. The level 80 Titans Legacy rewards overlap with previous seasons. Will you be changing them? We are planning to periodically refresh the level 80 Titans Legacy rewards since many players are still in Season T1 and B2. We are planning to begin periodic refreshing of rewards once the season merger process is complete, expected in late August. Okay. So I'm actually okay with this because what I will say is this is something that I think when I had talked about Titans Legacy before, people were saying that for like some of the late game rewards in Season 1 had been the same for multiple seasons now, when they're not kind of updating some of the rewards to like what some of the current metas are, or what some of the current seasonal plays end up being, whether it's new hero introductions for Gen 2s, Gen 3s, and or just any new features, right, that you may experience in a new season, and kind of making it so you are appropriately having those rewards reflect what that current season allows for you to do or introduces. So I like this if that's the direction that they're going with it. I think it makes sense. Then we get to the last question, which is, will you display weekly playing time figures in the Alliance rankings? Ooh, what do they could mean this a couple different ways. I wish they were a little more specific in this question. From the suggestions we've received, it appears that players would like to display their playing times in order to show off their level of activity and personal strength. However, it is easy for discrepancies to appear between playing times on PC and on mobile, and revealing this information could be an infringement of player privacy, As a result, we are not planning to display players' playing times. That being said, we are looking to introduce, small typo. We are looking to introduce a measurement system that favors individuals. For example, displaying players' strengths on a radar-style map. This system is still in design phase, so stay tuned. Interesting! So your player's strength on a radar-style map. Does that mean like just the density or the color of your dot will be indicative of like maybe they'll use yellow for T5s and like blue for T4s? Is that kind of what we're talking about? I guess there's not really enough information. Could it be interesting? Sure. Now, I think what could be different is if instead of showing because what they probably mean by playing time is like they probably want a chart. Like the alliance management, basically, if you're in management, what you really want to see is you want to see some kind of like a graph on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday on here's your graph of activity every hour, right? And ideally, you probably would like to see it like this, and then eventually it dips off right as you're going to see people along it. Like that's probably that's what management wants to see. You want to be able to see how that looks every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? And it would be cool if you could get a report of that. Now, keep in mind that I don't think would go against privacy because you wouldn't be looking at individuals if that is truly going against privacy. The way that you could still do it is where you show an alliance overall activity graph, like I was saying, where you have intervals. So it's like you have 1 UTC, 2 UTC, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So you do it every hour, and then you just have a line. And that line would be how many total players are online at that time, right? So like it would just gauge it every hour. That would be cool, right, for it to do. And then you could have a weekly breakdown every week. And then maybe you could also have like a monthly breakdown. So it would give you a week-to-week breakdown. And then maybe you could look at like the breakdown for the past 4 weeks on what it looks like. Maybe only going up, back up to a month. Something like that would be cool. And I think that could be something at a foundational level to where you could introduce and maybe build on that, where you're not necessarily looking at individual playing times. Now, keep in mind, Infinity Kingdom did something where you could see on the player profile card, right, and let me see if I can give you guys an example here, right? So hang on, let me do this real quick. Let's go, bum. So Infinity Kingdom did something to where you could, let me go back to my kingdom, and I'll show you what I mean. If I go to my alliance and I click on members, I could click here, and then right below here at the very bottom, it would say last online. And then it would say 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 1 hour, 1 hour 30 minutes, 10 hours, 17 hours, 42 minutes, 1 day, right? 1 day, 1 hour, 1 day, 10 hours, 1 day, 23 hours, 2 days. Then it would go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days, right? Something like that could be cool to add. And I think that's something that we've been advocating for, is being able to see something that's just public, that's viewable, right? That anyone in the alliance can see, or maybe even anyone that just goes into an alliance and looks. Now, maybe you may argue, okay, well, let's keep that specific to the alliance. I would be okay with either. But I think something like that could be cool as well. So anyways, those are my general thoughts. Interesting stuff though, right? So we got a nice little kind of preview, some things that are coming in 1.028. I would argue probably the most interesting thing for me is being able to do the unit transfer. It just kind of sucks, I guess, to a degree that it is somewhat limiting from T1 to T3. However, one of the things that we're still waiting to see is that T1 through T5 kills, deaths, and heals breakdown that will show up on player profile cards and also on leaderboards for Kingdom and or KvK leaderboards. So that's one of the biggest things that we're still waiting for. I need to write up a suggestion for this as well because people have been asking me to, so I can, pimp out my formatting and have a nice presentation and then do a video on it. But with that being said, what is the biggest impact or biggest thing that's sticking out to you here in what is to come, or what they have teetered at, if you will, or given us a peek at? That's coming up. Let me know in the comments down below. That's going to do it for me. As always, until next time, we'll catch you later.